Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Board Gaming Doctor. My name is Phil, and I'll be your Board Game Doctor today. In a continuation of the Rosenberg-athon, we're going to play Black Forest solo. Now, we're not only going to be playing Black Forest on the solo mode, and I'll explain a few differences as we go along, but we're going to go for the player-based challenge that is on Board Game Geek. So you'll notice that I have seeded the board accordingly to the requirements that this challenge has been set forth. I think this is the 5th month that this has been out, and you'll see as an example, I only have 2 buildings in each row. One of them is flipped over to the B side, and the other is not. So we take out a third of the small buildings, just so you can see. We also, randomized our large buildings as well as the tradespeople as well. The same rules will apply as in the solo mode, which is essentially placing 5 workers out onto the board. You don't move from village to village, but you will have to spend. I will have to spend a resource if I want to play a villager into a spot that is already taken, or if there is another pawn in that village already. Technically, in the 4th round, and we play through 5 rounds, so I get 25 placements overall in this game. And if on the 4th round, normally we would rearrange all of these worker placement spots, right? But in this game, this challenge, they will not be moved. So we're gonna do all of that and see where that gets us. So I haven't really looked ahead at what spots, what buildings are available here. So let's go ahead and get a lay of the land. So here are the large buildings that we have available. We have some interesting options. So if we wanted to go for sand storage, the focus building 3, has points for sand at the end of the game, as well as the ability to make sand. So that would be interesting. Hardware store, every pair of wood and brick will get as a point. And then the smokehouse for pawns. I know in general that having animals is very beneficial in this game. There are a lot of points that are made available through those animals. So looking at this, just looking at the offering, you're seeing me strategize in real time here. Let's see. We have a couple of options. I like the feeding trowel to convert food into animals. Alpine hut would be great for cattle as well, and feeding farm. So we have some options to build stables as well. Now looking over here, looking at the options for like sand, we don't have a food. We don't have a building that provides us a steady food source, so it might be hard to convert a lot of having a building to convert into food, to use that food to gain more animals. So I don't know if that will be the most viable option. I like this opportunity to get some more wood. I know wood is pretty scarce in this game. So, I like what I see with the production buildings. Let's try to go for an animal-based strategy and maybe pick up the sand storage on the way out as well. We want to save our food for animals, and so maybe this isn't the best building to build. So we'll maybe go for one of these other sets. Maybe the hardware store, since we have production abilities to gather both brick and wood. Yeah, the tenement building. So this might be our long-term strategy here. And in the short term, let's see. The tenement building will require meat, and meat is usually, I guess, taken from animals, but the trout fishery would be an excellent building to gather some meat from ponds, and we have a way to produce ponds here as well. And that is also a backup plan if we have the smokehouse in mind for later. So let's go ahead and try to get a building on the board. Let's go for the tenement building because I think having these building resources will be important in the long run. So getting that as soon as we can will be beneficial. So we start with 3 brick. We need some glass, so we just need to get some sand in order to build that first building. And we can get sand from going over here. And so that is an excellent spot. So let's go ahead and go there. We'll start with our black pawn here. Now, there is a stipulation that whenever I place the white pawn, I don't have to pay any provisions or resources to do so, to go there. So that is nice. All right. So yeah, let's take this action. So per pond, we gain a couple of sand. We have 2 ponds to start with, so we go to 3 sand. It's my first time using the tabletop simulator version. I have the actual board game, so I don't feel bad about using this, but for recording purposes, I think this is the best bet to go for me, personally. All right, so let's go ahead and remove a forest. So we'll put that forest right here. We gain a wood, and then we build. So we spend a glass and 3 brick to build that tenement building on our board. We'll go right there in the corner. So we have 1 meat, so we don't need to, well, we would need to get another meat to be able to use that. So there we go. Just gonna double check real quick to see. So we just need to pay a resource. We don't need to, when we visit a village with a pond there already, we don't need to spend a provision per se, but we can. So that is really interesting. Maybe there possibly won't be a lot of points made available through this wheel from spinning and using provisions as in the base game. But, you know, that is something to keep in mind. We can spend provisions, I suppose, rather than using precious resources that we would need to build. So I think that is probably what we will focus on. All right. So our next goal, I think, is to get the feeding trough, and then try to get some stables on the board as well, and start getting animals. So this is going to be a great spot. This gets us some meat per pond. So I like the combination there, and we also have the opportunity to build. And then there's only 1 spot to get brick over here, because for this building we're going to need 1 brick, 1 wood, and 2 sand. We have 1 sand, no brick. But we can get that brick if we get meat. So we could go here, maybe in the future, to get that meat, convert that into the building resources we need, and we just need to get sand. opportunities to get sand for free, well, for a price, are here. We don't start with any animals. And so we would need to build a stable, or at least gather a cow so we can slaughter it for meat. Or go the trout fishery route like we mentioned before to convert ponds into meat. The ham seller gets us some extra meat as well when we visit it. I also wanted to look at some of the endgame buildings here. Oh, the fort. This is nice. I forget about the fort. So, X number of players is 1, so we would only need to pay one of each of these resources to move into village with ponds. So that saves us resources as well. Colonization house, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, but maybe we should focus on getting the fort. So looking at our wheel, if we get some charcoal, we'll have that glass. We have wood. We just need brick. So if I can get some meat and charcoal, then I think we will be sitting pretty. We can go here. So we get 2 resources from visiting the traveling merchant. Let's get 2 meat. And then let's spend a wood again for charcoal. Leaving us with 1 wood. Good. Okay. So now we have enough to build the fort. So let's look at our building spot options. So we can go here. So at a glance, we don't have any porridge to utilize this spot. This can give us some meat as well, or some porridge, some food, which I like. Reason being is, yeah, we can start getting some porridge to get our feeding trough going, potentially. And then our other option for building would be right here. We would need to pay a resource to go here, though. And why pay when we can... Yeah, okay. So let's go here. Let's do this bottom option and gain 2 porridge for our 2 fields that we have here. So this goes there, and this moves all the way. Oh, it's blocked. Is it blocked? Why is it? Oh, it's yeah, it is blocked by the provision. Ooh, so that's an issue. Interesting. So we might need to visit, because I don't think we can just lose resources willy-nilly. I think we would need to use provisions and go to a spot that has already been taken. Now okay, that's interesting. There's nothing here that we could convert provisions into. So maybe we don't go to the fort. It's 3 points, but it doesn't really benefit us. I think in the solo game, I think using these provisions is going to be beneficial for us to accomplish what we need to. So let's go ahead and build another building. Oof. 7 wood for the log driver. For the sake of continuing with what I have started, I still think we will build and take the food just so we don't have to backtrack too much. And so let's roll with what we have and figure out what we should do. So I could go here. I do like the Hotzenwald house. If I utilize my production, gain 2 brick and 2 wood for the tenement building, I should have enough and use that glass to build the Hotzenwald house. So let's do that. So essentially just using everything that I garnered. Good. Put that there. 3 sand immediately. Our water is still right there. I can't rotate. That's good. And then let's grab... Where are the cows? There we go. We have begun herding our cows. All right. So that is done. So let's try to go to a spot that has someone there already. So there is this opportunity to build a stable here to start building up our legion of cows and pigs. How are we doing charcoal? We have a lot of charcoal. So going here to get some brick as well wouldn't be too bad, I suppose. And then spending a wood for... Oh, I think I was supposed to spend 2 meat. I forgot to do that. Hey there, so this video will be a lot shorter than as intended. I just realized right as I ended that I wasn't recording. So I don't know how much was missed. I think I had to plug in my computer for battery. But I guess you get to skip ahead and see what I accomplished. And so I got to 52 points. I was able to get the smokehouse and hardware store out on the board. I got 11 points for the smokehouse and 14 by maxing out my brick and wood. I thought these buildings were very good to do so. The ox stable and tenement building really helped out a lot. I think the only deficit that I could think of right now, and I did well with my animals too, I feel, getting 12 points from them. I could have gotten 7 more points if I had been able to really move my charcoal twice, like I had planned. I had a moment in the game where I could have used the traveling merchant to do so, but I would sacrifice those 7 points to potentially not have enough meat to maximize my bricks. I wasn't able to get one of the buildings that I had in mind to do so, and so I had to use meat. And so I guess that was another way, if I had built this brick basin, I was 1 water short of doing so, so that also would have been awesome to have enough water to build this. I wouldn't have to use my meat. That would be up here, and then I could move the charcoal down for 7 points, maybe even 2 more there. So that would have helped me to get to 61 points. So that would have been awesome. But in any case, well, that's so this is a choppy video for sure, but time is short. Time is running low. I'm not going to play this again, as there are too many games to play during this Rosenberg-athon. So anyway, well, thank you for joining me, at least partially, I guess, on this this journey through Black Forest. Sorry you didn't get to see some of those rounds, but I appreciate you sticking around, and hope you schedule an appointment with your board gaming doctor real soon. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.